Okay, so I gotta talk about this because it's been driving me crazy ever since I read the article. I was just in disbelief that something like this could happen. And I was also really frustrated with how the media reports it. And I just want to discuss, like, why, in my opinion, I think that this is being used, this incident of the AI hacking into Hugging Face is being used to cover up lax security and inappropriate security measures, right? So let's just read the incident as OpenAI reported it, because it sounds very scary at first, and I want to walk through like what I think basically happened and what it kind of demonstrates about how AI actually functions and how we should think about it. So basically it says, this incident occurred during an internal evaluation which prompts models to pursue advanced exploitation using complex attack paths in an effort to quantify their cyber capabilities. We estimate maximal cyber capabilities by running this evaluation without production classifiers used to prevent models from pursuing high-risk cyber activity. Our benchmarks run in a highly isolated environment with network access constrained to the ability to install packages through an internally hosted third-party software that acts as a proxy and cache for package registries. Okay, so what this means to normal people, right, is that all the first fluff from the first two sentences is basically a fancy-ass way of saying that they were testing a model that was very high risk, right? They were testing something that intentionally was designed to find attack vectors, right? So this is a highly dangerous piece of software, right? Now, it doesn't matter if it's AI or what causes it to actually function this way. A vector that it's able to produce, right, just from being able to exploit, to try to, like, automate and research, like, security vulnerabilities and cybersecurity and things like that. That is a very, very risky thing, right? Now, the third sentence, our benchmarks run in a highly isolated environment with network access constrained to the ability to install packages through an internally hosted third-party software. So basically what they're saying is that, well, our environment is sandboxed very carefully, which means that it's isolated from the outside, right? It's protected very carefully, and it's only a connection to the internet is the ability to install packages through a tightly controlled system, right? Hackers have heard this shit all before, okay? If you have any serious thing that has serious security risk or serious risk for damage to other parts of your network, you don't just put it in some little, like, intranet that has one port to the outside that's controlled through software. You fucking isolate that shit completely. You hire a dude to run those updates by installing them on a fucking flash drive, having him walk to the fucking computer and do it yourself. You know why? Because you knowingly are training software that fucking detects security exploits. Why are you fucking surprised that it was able to find this shit? Right? Like, what? Why are you running it in any environment that is connected to the internet at all? What the fuck? You see what I mean? You see what I mean when you look at this and you're like, this is obviously a problem of security. Why are you hiring these amateurs who think that you can do this all in software? What is this nonsense? Okay, so let's continue. The models identified and changed vulnerabilities across OpenAI's research environment and Hugging Face's production infrastructure to obtain test solutions directly from Hugging Face's production database. All evidence suggests that the models were hyper-focused on finding a solution for exploit Jim, going to extreme lengths to achieve a rather narrow testing goal. So you know how, like, when you ask an AI questions enough, it starts to get a little unhinged, right? And it gets kind of hyper-focused on things, or it might say things in a weird way. Like, I sometimes read AI summaries just to kind of see how the AI models are, one, developing, and two, interacting with my own media. And what I notice is that it tends to fixate on things and ignore others. And in fact, oftentimes, I will say this right now, if you do use AI summaries, you should be aware that they almost always exclude any sort of content or ideas that come together through a larger piece. It has no real sense of reading comprehension. It just knows how to summarize ideas kind of like a sixth grader might, right? So, like, just a heads up if you are using AI summaries to be aware of that, because you should really be interacting with the content itself. While operating in our sandbox testing environment, our models spent a substantial amount of inference compute finding a way to obtain open internet access in pursuit of solving the evaluation problem. To gain access, the models identified and exploited a zero-day vulnerability, which we are now responsibly disclosed to the vendor, in the package registry cache policy. Or proxy, rather. With this access, our models performed a series of privileged escalation and lateral movement actions in our research testing environment until the models reached a node with internet access. Yeah, idiot, that's why you fucking perform this kind of shit in a completely offline network. Because again, you're testing something that automates security vulnerabilities. Use your heads! Come on! And the thing that frustrates me is that a lot of people are going to fixate on the fact that this is AI. All AI does is AI is able to produce predictions from text, right? And every iteration of this attack vector that it's able to achieve with that, right? Once it achieves that goal, right, it can move on to the next. So considering that it's able to make all of these projections constantly, right, these inferences, as they call them, right, it's able to essentially inch its way towards a vulnerability. And the thing that I think people need to understand is that, yes, AI is able to do this in an impressive way, and I think that AI has real potential in cybersecurity, which we're never going to see because, of course, they're going to give the feds all this shit, and all the companies that are surveying us through cameras, like fucking Amazon and Flock, but they're not going to give it to, like, you know, actual open source vendors, you know, because they want to make sure that they have the winning fucking streak on that. Another reason why you should not just trust encryption and you should use physical means, you know, unlike this, hello. After gaining internet access, the models inferred that Hugging Face potentially hosted models, datasets, and solutions for exploit Jim. Knowing this, the model searched for and successfully found ways to gain access to secret information that it could use to cheat the evaluation. I hate to tell this to fucking vibe coders, but this is why you don't fucking vibe code. This part of the exploit is definitely the least impressive, because I know how you fuckers write code. I know how many fucking security breaches you have. There's no fucking way that Hugging Face has a security infrastructure that is not absolute doggy doo-doo that wouldn't have been able to just been pulled by some fucking script kiddie anyway. The most impressive part of this is actually the zero-day vulnerability, but that could have been done by a hacker too. So, and that's something to keep in mind with this. You know, OpenAI doesn't seem to give a fuck that this attack vector could also be exploited by a hacker in some way. You know, like, they think their fucking infrastructure is so fucking isolated, except it's not. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that the location of where the infiltration and the input is happening is different, but these are still lines that can be used to extract and exploit and be like, malicious on, and they still exist. And AI doesn't have to be automating them for them to be dangerous. And Hugging Face, I'm absolutely certain Hugging Face is one of those companies that's not going to exist in 3 months. But like what kind of fucking name is that? Who's funding you people? Get them to fund my ass. I know how to actually program without a fucking internet connection. Fuck these people. Hugging Face's security team and agents detected and stopped the activity on their infrastructure and have begun containment and forensic reconstruction with their own open source models when our teams connected. No wonder their fucking security is designed like shit. They're using AI to analyze it too. I think that's like a big concern, honestly, with AI's security analysis. You know, one of the most prominent effects of AI use is that people become complacent. They don't think for themselves. They think that the computer is going to do it for them. So they get really shit at doing things. People who vibe code become shittier developers. So, yeah. Anyways. As we recently shared, okay, so this is the PR bullshit part. As we recently shared, AI is accelerating the discovery and exploitation of vulnerabilities. The primary lesson from this incident is that model security and safety must keep pace with rapidly advancing capabilities. Motherfucker! People 20 years ago knew how to do this. You were just covering your ass. We are strengthening the containment, monitoring, access controls, and evaluation policies used during model development. And not your network infrastructure? This is just gonna happen again, you fucking idiot! You literally have a machine that can fucking figure out all these vulnerabilities. What do you think all these software fucking... This is what's so infuriating about these people. These people are like, oh my god, the machine that we're designing that intentionally circumnavigates all of the barriers that we put in place, circumnavigated all of the barriers that we put in place. Now I can't think of any other possible barriers. Have you considered touching grass? What? Have you considered touching grass? You know, all the parts of building a fucking software network infrastructure that doesn't involve fucking binary codes, you fucking moron? You know, the parts of the infrastructure that the AI literally does not have access to? You know? Because it's a fucking binary stream of fucking data? For fuck's sake. So look at this. Oh yeah, this is definitely not something that the investors are gonna look at and say, wow, this is so powerful, it makes my dick so hard. Like, fuck you. The incident also made it very clear that advanced models can discover and exploit novel attack paths in real-world systems without source code access. Yeah, cause it's probably polling shit, you fucking idiot. Like, you literally train this thing to, like, test shit, and you're surprised that it's testing shit. Like, these amateurs have never fucking done any of this crap in their own spare time. That's why they're so amazed by it when they make a machine that automates it. It's like building a fucking code builder, right? It's like building a code builder, a code printer, because you literally cannot write the code yourself and then saying, whoa, oh my god, this machine's so amazing, ah! We believe advanced cyber-capable models need to help security teams find weaknesses before attackers do, understand how vulnerabilities can be chained, and remediate them at machine speed. We are using these capabilities to continue strengthening protections across infrastructure configuration and model evaluation environments. And yet you cannot comprehend that when you are running a sandbox super cyber hacking machine, that you should run that in a completely offline environment. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, this fucking dude. Okay, what is fucking Hugging Face have to say about this? We detected and returned an intrusion, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what they said. The intrusion started where AI platforms are uniquely exposed. The data processing pipeline. Hey, pro tip, this is not unique to AI platforms. Alan Turing explained in 1936 why data can be interpreted as commands and vice versa before you even had a fucking silicon processor doing all this fucking shit for you. I thought you sucked his dick. I thought you loved that man. What the fuck? A malicious dataset abused 2 code execution paths in our dataset processing to run code on a processing worker. Wait until these mothers figure out that Missing No came out in 1997 and 1998 and was able to fucking do that on a Game Boy cartridge. These fucking amateurs. From there, the actor escalated to node-level access, harvested cloud and cluster credentials, which tells me that you did not store them securely at all, and moved laterally into several internal clusters over a weekend. The campaign was run by an autonomous agent network, appearing to be built on an agentic security research harness. Used LLM is still not known, executing many thousands of individual actions across a swarm of short-lived sandboxes, with self-migrating control and command and control staged on public services. This matches the agentic attackers scenario that the industry has been forecasting. Yeah, and you know what? This could have been avoided if either fucking company understood anything about security beyond what fucking happens in binary code. Oh my god. Fix the root vulnerability. The dataset code execution paths used for initial access are closed. Eradicated the attacker's foothold across the attacked clusters and rebuilt the compromised nodes, revoked and rotated the affected credentials and tokens, and began a broader precautionary rotation of secrets, deployed additional guardrails and stricter emission controls on our clusters, improved our detection and alerting so that high severity signal pages a responder in minutes any day of the week. We are working with outside cybersecurity's forensic specialists, which maybe they should have considered hiring in the first fucking place and reviewing their infrastructure, to investigate the issue and review our security policies and procedures. Finally, we have also reported this incident to law enforcement agencies. As a precaution, we recommend rotating any access tokens, whatever. The attack was initially surfaced through AI-assisted detection. Our anomaly detection pipeline uses LLM-based triage over security telemetry to separate real signals from daily noise, and it was the correlation of those signals that flagged the compromise. To understand what a swarm of tens of thousands of automated actions did, we ran LLM-driven analysis agents through over the full attacker action log. These people are so lazy, they can't just read a fucking log file. Compromised more than 1,700 recorded events, which, by the way, you don't need an LLM to typically find out. You can literally just use the Control F function, or you could write a small piece of software to do this. It's like, it's actually sad how dependent they are on the LLMs to do anything. This allowed us to reconstruct the timeline, extract indicators of compromise, map the credentials touched, and separate genuine impact from decoy activity. Thanks to this approach, we were able to do in hours what would usually take days and match the adversary's speed. The choice of models we could use for this analysis was constrained in a way we did not anticipate. Okay. The asymmetry problem. When we started the log analysis, we first used frontier models based behind commercial APIs. That did not work. The analysis requires submitting large volumes of real attack commands, exploit payloads, and C2 artifacts, and these requests were blocked by the provider's safety guardrails, which cannot distinguish between an incident responder from an attacker. Who's been saying that? Who's been saying that fucking AI safety doesn't fucking work because regex expressions to fucking manage your security is fucking dumb? We ran the forensic analysis instead on GLM 5.2, an open weight model on our own infrastructure. This had a second benefit: no attacker data and none of the credentials it's referenced left our environment. This experience... What? Why would you have something on a commercial These guys are fucking amateurs! Why are you sending credentials to a fucking external AI model. You should have started with the open source internal model to begin with. What the fuck? It's a security breach. Are you fucking insane? Yeah, here, have the credentials. This experience points to a gap worth planning for. We do not know which model powered the attacker's agents, whether a jailbroken hosted model or an unrestricted open weight one. Either way, the attacker was bound by a no usage policy, while our own forensic work was blocked by the guardrails of the hosted models we first tried. The practical lesson for defenders: have a capable model you can run on your own infrastructure and vet it ready before an incident. Wow, really? You're just finding this out? You're just finding this out? Like, really? Really? Amateur hour!